Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where you are invited for lighthearted conversations about things that matter as you seek to live your most meaningful, beautiful, and joyful life. I'm your host, Dr. Edie Wadsworth, and I hope you enjoy your stay here at the House of Joy. Hi, loves. I'm so happy to see you today. I have a really good topic. This is going to get you right in the feels. So lean in. Let's have a heart to heart. I can already hear my dog trying to get in the door. Can we make it through the podcast without him? But today we're going to talk about 4 habits that have 10x'd my life, my income, my joy. I don't think they're habits that you're going to guess right away, but I just got off of the most amazing week, you guys. I hosted the Next Level Summit this past week in my business. And I think it's my favorite event that I've ever created in my business. My heart is still full from it. If you want to be able to catch the replays of it, by the way, you can join the most magical 90. We're not still selling summit tickets, but you get the replays of the summit if you join my behind the scenes group. So we'll put the link in the show notes if you want to do that. But one of the replays in particular has just rocked my world. And it was one of the replays that one of my coaches, Aline Joyner, taught on emotional capacity. Listen, the whole behind the scenes experience is totally worth it just for you to hear that one talk. But she talked a lot about emotional capacity. And it got me thinking. Today's not about emotional capacity, by the way, but it got me thinking about the tools that I have used to build what I've built as I've been doing this beautiful, amazing group, by the way. I've so enjoyed doing behind the scenes. Okay, I'm gonna have to let the dog in. Hold on. Sorry about that. He was not taking no for an answer. Where was I? So anyways, I have just so thoroughly enjoyed doing this behind the scenes experience. And a lot of the things that we've talked about are basically my clients in there, my friends in there worrying about me because, like I was hosting this summit the week that my family was home. And I'm like, no, listen, you don't understand. Like, it's perfect timing. I did all of this work ahead of time. I prepped all this stuff. The timing, it all just worked out perfect. But I think people who haven't built the capacity for this kind of thing wouldn't get that. And I so understand. But this whole week got me thinking so much about how I'm so very grateful for the life I live. I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful for the time we got to spend together. I'm so grateful for meaningful work that I love doing, that I feel like makes a real impact in people's lives. And I saw this. I don't know what I was watching, probably a YouTube video. I love YouTube, you guys. I would love to know from you. Do you love YouTube as much as I do? But I saw her do this thing, which was like she took a piece of paper. I'm going to do it if you're watching on YouTube. She took a piece of paper and she drew a line down the middle. And she had you write your desires on one side. So if you just draw a line down the middle and you put your true heart's desires. Now, I'm not talking about like what your ego wants. Oh, I want a Lamborghini and I want a new Louis Vuitton purse and although write down what you want, but ask yourself like, is this what my soul wants? Is this what I really want? So you write down your desires on one side. And on the other side, you write down the actions that you're currently taking in your life to bring those desires into fruition. So say for instance, you've always had this dream to write a book. What are you currently doing in your life that kind of like matches up to that desire? I want to write a book, but am I writing every day? Am I, trying to get in contact with a book publisher? Am I like, what action am I taking toward that? And it got me thinking that one of my desires was I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I've been talking about this a lot in my groups. as a business owner, always for me, August has been a hard month because it's the summer. It's not a month that I'm normally creating a lot of things. And so it has often been a hard month financially in my business. Now, we make up for that in the fall. So I've never really worried about it. But I just was like last August, I it just came to my mind. I'm like, why do we do this every year? Why don't we plan better and space our revenue out and, or whatever. So we made a couple changes last year and it got a little bit better. But I decided, I don't know, February or March, there was this thing that I wanted to host in my business that I just hosted, the summit. And I'm like, oh, we'll do it in August. Perfect, because we don't have anything else in August and we'll do it all in one day. So even if I'm taking most of August off, it's fine. We'll host it when I get back. And so I started then planning for what if August wasn't the hardest month of the year, the one that I stressed about going, oh my gosh, how's revenue going to be this month? What if August was our best month of the year? What if we created an August that was better than any August we had ever had? And so I started down this path of creating what I've been doing for the past couple of months, which is my most magical 90 days and my most abundant month in my business. And we're not through yet, you guys. And I don't know if this will end up being the very most abundant month in my business, but I will say this. We have more than tripled what I have ever created in the month of August. And I could cry my eyes out over it. I'm so grateful. And it's one of those things that proves to me over and over that the things that I teach, the tools that I've learned and that I teach my clients really work. So if you drew on a piece of paper, so, earlier in the year, one of the things on my pieces of paper would be as a business owner, I don't want to be stressed about the month of August. I want to create a really abundant August. I want to really enjoy it. I don't want to do it from hustle. I don't want to do it from ego. I want to do it full of service for my clients, but also full of abundance for myself and my team so that we can have time off where we really rest, but that we also don't have to worry about revenue. And it has been literally the most magical month, not just in my business, but in a million other ways, because this kind of way of living where you're really living aligned with your God-given desires, not your ego, your God-given true desires, when you're living in alignment with that, you're living in service, it has this domino effect that it just starts to domino into every area of your life. So I want to share with you today 4 habits that have made this possible for me, that have changed the game for me. And these aren't about working harder. They're about living more congruent with your heart, living more congruent with what your soul wants, living more in alignment with how God made you and the desires that He gave you. So I think this is really going to help you. This is going to be kind of a quick one, but I want you to do the same exercise. I want you to take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On the left side, your goals, dreams, your deepest desires. On the right, what are you actually doing with your time? How are you spending your time that helps you get toward that thing that you want? Are the things that I am spending my time doing related to what I was created for, to what my soul really wants? And this is not a willpower issue. This is just really learning how to live in alignment. And this has changed everything, including my income. So habit number 1 is ruthless simplicity and presence. You guys, over the last 10 years, I have simplified my life in a ruthless way. I heard one coach call this like living in monk mode. And I'm like, oh, I so resonate with that. I say no to 90% of things so that I can really serve my family and really serve my clients and really give myself time to live in such a way that it fills me up so that I can do that. I don't indulge in drama almost never. I don't watch TV. This is true, you guys. I don't even know how to turn our TV on. Now, I do take in content. I'll tell you in a minute what I prioritize for taking in content, but I don't watch TV. I rarely drink alcohol. I move my body every single day. I don't complain. I do work that really matters to me. And it's not about deprivation, it's about really honoring your life. And this way of living, because I used to be one of those people that thought, I got to be running 100 places. I've got to be in the know of whatever's going on in my town or community. I got to be right in the middle of it. And that always left me feeling scattered and kind of unsatisfied. And when I started living this way, where I live really simply, I make most of my food at home, I go work out, and I do my work, and I take care of my family. But maybe contrary to what you might imagine, I have a very simple life. And it has created so much sanity, so much peace, so much joy, way more income, way more impact than I ever imagined. Not because I was chasing those things, but because I really simplified my life so I could be present for it, really enjoy it. I just spent Friday with my grandbabies, and I know I say this all the time, you guys, but carving out that intentional time every week with my babies has been a rhythm in my life that gives me life, that even though I'm not working, gives me ideas, helps me remember what matters, grounds me in the simplest joys of life. I got my little baby Noah a book for his birthday called Cowboy Small. I highly recommend that you get this book for your babies. And he loves it. And we read it so many times, and he wanted to read it again. And he made Gramps read it to him. Just like, to me, that simple pleasure of reading a book to a baby, that simple pleasure of we went to the park and just playing and being in nature. How can you simplify your life so that you can be truly present for it? Number 2, making time for deep inner work. And here's what I mean by that: reading, writing, stillness, so that you connect back to yourself, so that you connect back to God, so that you can stay present in the moment. When I make space for this, and I do this almost every day, probably every day. I'm trying to think if there's very many times I don't do this, not very many. Creating time in the day, space, slowing time down. I go and sit on my porch. I bring my journal with me. I take a hot bath. I listen to a good podcast. I'm listening to an audiobook right now called The Having, which is so phenomenal. But deep work where I can think and read and write. And even part of what I think I do in this time is just process life. Life goes by so fast. And if you don't give yourself some space and time to really process and be present for yourself, I think it can leave us just not feeling the way we want to feel and not living the kind of life that feels really rich and really expansive and really full. So that is number 2. Number 3 is to take action on what matters to you. So once you've gotten clear on what you really want, look at your piece of paper. What do you want? What do you want to create? What do you want in your relationships in whatever way? What is your heart really yearning for? So many women that come into my world, their hearts are yearning to make an impact, to get their message out, to use their voice to serve other people. Okay, so what are you doing about that? Are you taking action on that? You can't just dream about it and journal about it, though you should do those steps too. You should make space in your life for dreaming and journaling. But are you closing the gap between the desires that you have and creating that result in your life by taking action? Are you creating time to write if writing is your thing? If you want to get healthier, are you moving your body? Are you making nourishing food? If you want connection, are you sending those texts? Are you planning those dinners? Are you sitting down with your spouse? If you want to create a podcast? Are you brainstorming the ideas? Are you just putting your phone up and recording? Action builds congruence. And when you start taking action against what you, when you start taking the action that helps you get what you really want, you build trust with yourself. It builds so much confidence. It's a bridge between what your heart desires, what your soul desires, and the impact that you can make in the world. So, are you taking action? And if not, what is one small action you can take today? I will tell you this so many times. And I wish you would come over on YouTube so that I could look in your eyes and tell this to you. So many times when I'm making the outline, I have a great idea. Oh, I want to share this on the podcast. This is what I've been thinking about. Inevitably, when it's time to record it, it's not a good time. It seems like that happens all the time, you guys. And it would be so easy not to do it and so easy to dismiss it and say, well, it really doesn't matter if I do it or not. Until on the other end of this podcast, one of you precious souls will send me a message, either on Instagram or on Facebook or in an email. Or if you're friends in real life, you'll send me a text. I love when I get those. And you'll say, that was just for me. And it makes me so thankful that I fight through the resistance that I still sometimes have to doing the thing I actually desire. I actually desire to connect with you in this podcast. I love doing it. I really desire to share the things that I'm learning, to share when I feel really inspired. But at the very moment that it's time to do it, there's always resistance. There's always, well, this isn't the best time. Is anybody really care? Is this really going to make an impact? And then you remind me that it does matter. Now, there were a lot of days when I first started my business and I first started sharing my life and my message online that nobody was listening. And I had to keep going, even though nobody did seem to care. But I want to urge you today to find time, make time to take action on the things that really matter to you. And the fourth thing is this: I have finally learned how to take time off and create a lot of sacred space where I'm just refueling. I did this past weekend and it was glorious, you guys. I love a weekend when I'm hosting my family and we're having big dinners and we're out on the lake and we're doing all the things. And I also love a weekend where it's just Stevie and I and Tom. I can hear Tom right out there right now, you guys, on the jet ski. And it's just us and it's a slow weekend and I have a lot of time to think and sit on my porch and do nothing or take a nap or take a hot bath or two or whatever it is. And so much productivity, creativity, peace, and joy flows from that. Because I have learned a valuable lesson as a creator that it's not just about the output, it's also about the input. And it's in that stillness where I can get quiet and hear what God most clearly is trying to tell me. When I can hear my own desires. It's funny because I had a weekend where I had a lot of time to do that. And in my team meeting with my team, oh my gosh, you guys, they got an earful of all of the ideas. By the way, if you are in my world and you like learning from me, watch out because we have some stuff coming. But the deeper I have found that the deeper that I'm willing to go inward in these ways that I just talked about, doing the deep work, taking time off, simplifying my life, taking action on the things that matter to me, the more I have been willing to go inward, the more value I can bring outward, the more aligned my inner life is. If I take time to take care of myself and do my journaling and get quiet and create space, the more my outer life, the part that you guys see, the more that actually flourishes. And that's why income, impact, joy are byproducts of really living in congruence with who God created you to be, what He called you to do, the desires that you have on your heart. And what are we doing instead? We're a lot of times we're wasting time, we're scrolling, it's like we're not taking really time to recharge, but we're not doing the thing we want to do either. We're in some kind of weird, messy middle. And if you think about your piece of paper and what you really want to create, how can you live your life in such a way that it allows you to do that? It creates a lot of space for you to do that. So, are you spending time today doing things that align with the life you most want? Do your actions reflect your desires? And if you can tune into this and if you can take this seriously, simplify your life a little bit. Do the deep work, the inner work that causes the outer work to flourish. Be courageous and take the actions that you need to take. Your life will begin to change in ways that you can't even imagine. And that's worth honoring, you guys. We only get this one life, and it's worth honoring the way we were created. So I think all the good stuff flows from there. So that's what I have to share with you today. We are, by the way, in our last few days, if you're listening to this in real time. If you're listening to this on the replay, you're way too late for this, and that's fine, probably. But if you're listening in real time, we do still have our coach certification open. If you are one of those people who feels called to do it, you have a few more days. Our class is almost full. We're only running one class of life coach certification next year from February to May. We have been running it twice a year. We're going to just once a year. So this is your chance. If you've been wanting to get trained with us, this is your chance to do it. We would love to have you. We have, 97 people already. So we're almost full. So if you want one of those last spots, click the link in the show notes or head to edwadsworthcoaching.com and click on certification. Okay. I love you so much. And I'm so thankful to share this time with you on the podcast. It really means a lot to me to connect and think about the impact that you could have doing the thing your heart desires, maybe getting your work out in the world so that somebody else could benefit from that. Okay. I love you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.